Om Shanti. Oh, very warm welcome to everyone who is here. Um, Welcome to Brahma Kumari's Meditation Center, Calgary. I know this isn't the best way to have this conversation, but we have to abide to the rules and get well soon, and hopefully we can have this conversation face to face one day. But for now, I would request everyone to please use the live chat for any questions, and during the session questions will be asked. I request you to please participate, as it will only make this even more fun and engaging. If you cannot use the live chat, please log into your Gmail account and you can see the live chat then. If you're having any difficulties, please let us know in the chat box and we'll be there to help you. So, for the next few months, we are going to be discussing self-care, improving qualities of everyday life. It's interesting how we need to learn these things now when we are all grown up and not when we were kids, because we were never taught that in school. We know when was that war, when did Hitler, bring war, World War II, everything. We know all of that. But we don't know how to take care of ourselves when we are in stress. We don't know what to do when we are in depression. We don't know how to bring out that happiness when it's lost. We don't know how to love others. And trust me, we don't know how to love ourselves. So with this, I bring to you today's virtue, love. So today we are gathered here to discuss love. Beautiful, isn't it? It's a mesmerizing word. So let's begin this session by me asking you a question. Why do we need love? Please be free to use the chat box. So, if I'm not wrong, we need love because we want someone to depend on, we want to be cared. When we face some crisis, we want someone to lean on. And let's go a little bit further, and if you can very kindly, tell me what are some physical, mental, behavioral changes we go through when we fall in love. We feel goosebumps. We want to spend all our time with that person. We start adjusting our time for that person. We can't stop thinking about that person. Butterflies in our stomachs. Everything is in slow motion. Your hair is flying. Isn't it? It's so beautiful. But now, let's take whatever I said, let's take each one. Let's take goosebumps. So goosebumps is something which happens physically in our body. We can feel it. We can touch it. Right? So that also happens, unfortunately, is when we are in a panic attack or we are stressed, or especially when we are sitting to watch a horror film. Now let's take another one. So, you know, we want to spend all our time with them. That's all we can think about. Somewhere, isn't it like a mental change in us that's all our brain wants to think about? And the same can be seen with people who have addictive behavior, who are suffering from addiction. That's all they can think about. Now let's take another one. That, I want to spend all my time with you. So you start adjusting your time for them. Now, my God gracious, we have been given 24 hours. But we start to gamble them, risk them for something we know can leave anytime. So we are gambling with the most precious, form of money you can get. It's actually time. And then we are gambling with it because we want love from outside. So now consider this, that we go through so much, and it's related to things which bring us stress, depression, anxiety. Still, every human being falls in love. Why? Now again, why? Why do we need love? It's because there's no other feeling in this world as powerful, as beautiful as love. They say love makes you cross mountains, love, it makes you fly. It's so powerful. And it is, one of my favorite movies, I think we all grew up watching, and even parents had to because we were watching them, is Harry Potter. And now what do you think that movie is about? It's not about good over evil. It's not about, strong over weak. It has always been about love over hate. The world's most powerful wizard could not kill a 6-month-old baby because his mother sacrificed herself for him. And that barrier, that love of hers, could not do anything to that child. And it's always been about love. Even when we assume Harry dies, the part of where he hates himself dies. But love is always won in that film, in that series. That's how powerful love is. But we are here to discuss love. But we are so used to taking love from outside that it's necessary that we divide this session into 2 parts. First, we'll discuss love with others, love in relationships. And then we'll discuss the art of self-love. Now you may ask that, why am I here to discuss love in relationships when the series is self-care, when it's about the self? But we have been conditioned to, always take love from outside in relationships. We have to understand what we have unconsciously learned so that we can consciously unlearn that and then finally learn the art of self-love, which we all desperately want to learn. So let's start, talking about love in relationships with a very simple question. Can you tell me what you see in someone when you're attracted to someone? And what do you see in someone when you fall in love with them? Those are very two different things. So please think carefully. And if I'm not wrong, when you are attracted to someone, it's basically you are seeing their features, what they look like, how well dressed they are, if they're clean shaven, what's their figure. But when you fall in love with someone, it's what they do for you. It's their nature, their personality. So if you look closely, as you can see on your screens, when it comes to attraction, we are only attracted to the body. You won't be in love with someone if you meet them when they are already dead. And when you fall in love with someone, it's because of their personality. If we want to go deeper, we can say it's their inner self. And if we want to put a full stop to this, we can say we are in love with their spiritual being. So, here I give you one lesson that please know if you are in love or if you are attracted. Because that's where we think that we are in love, but it's infatuation most of the time. So, ask yourself that. If you claim you love someone, do you really? Now, it's very simple. We start spending time with someone. We start seeing patterns. We start seeing that they like something that I do. They do something that I do as well. And then when we create those patterns in our brains tell us that, oh, you are in love, congratulations. But then, after that congratulation, comes that danger signal that, wait, you're getting attached. The word we all know, and we promise to ourselves that we won't do it, but we always end up doing it. In this age, we are attached to everything, not just people. We are attached to our phones, our laptops, our job, everything. We can't let it go. It's always like, it's mine. So when you are attached to something, then you say it's okay, it's natural. And then you also say that I'll do the most natural thing, which is actually the most unnatural thing, that I'll start expecting. And that's normal. No, it's not normal. But society says, oh no, I love you. I have the right to expect this from you. Who gave you that right? Is it written in the Constitution or something? No one gave you that right. But then we start expecting, because we want love. We start wanting them to give us love. It's basically in 5 ways. They call it love languages. Technically, it's gifts, a quality time, physical touch, words of affirmation, etc. So we want them from the other person. We are constantly craving it. Because I have given you my heart and you're responsible for it now. Pretty simple, right? But then, even one time or one day, they don't do that. You declare that, oh, they don't love me anymore. But then, do you ever sit down and ask yourself, am I doing the same? Did I ever ask them what they want? Did I ever put a conscious effort to do the same, what I am expecting them to do? That will create balance, and then you can, for the sake of it, give yourself a pat in the back that, okay, expectations are fine. But it's only fine if the two of them are working together. But it's never that, because everyone has their high days, everyone has their low days. They say that sometimes you have to put your 80% when the other can only put 20. But you have to do that. But then this generation, is like, this is too much for us. We don't want to commit, because we are so stressed. Oh, we have this much stress. We have our job. We have Zumba class. We have gym. We have that. So I don't have time to put effort in relationships. So if you can't put time in relationships, how can you put time in yourself? There isn't some magic that I'll give you a magic potion and then you will start falling in love with yourself. I wish it worked that way. But it doesn't, does it? Society has conditioned us to believe that love can only be, nowadays bought from outside. We can only get it from outside. We start. What are two main things which we look for when we fall in love? It's, what's the beauty of that person or that thing, and what value does that beauty and what value does that person or thing hold in my life? So we attach value to others and they attach value to us, and we are stuck in this game of, let's put your worth. we always think that, am I worthy? Because I have not decided I'm worthy. Others have decided for me I'm worthy. But then we say it's normal. I'm not saying don't fall in love, don't be in relationships. Relationships are a beautiful thing, be it mother-child. But if you don't fall in love with your inner self, you will always hate your body. Love is so powerful in relationships. This reminds me of a story. So there was this woman called Savitri, and so her father wanted her to get married to a groom of his choice, but she didn't want that. So she left her house, and then she found a woodcutter in the forest. But she was a princess. But they fell in love and they decided to get married. But one day before their marriage, a sage came up to her and said that if you marry this guy, he's gonna die in a year. So are you sure you want to marry that guy? She didn't flinch. She didn't bother to tell Satyavan, the groom, that, you're gonna die if you marry me. She decided it for him, that he doesn't need to know. Love. So they got married, 1 year of blissful life. But then that day came he died. So the god of death, they say, Lord of death, he came and then he's like, hey, I'm here to take him. And she was devastated. She's like, no, you can't take him. And she begged him. She wouldn't let him go. And then the Lord got fed up. I'm like, what should I do with her? So he said, okay, I'll grant you anything you want. Ask me. So here Savitri was clever, and then she started asking for things. She said, I want a big kingdom. Given. I want a palace. Here you go. I want this. I want that. And then he got in a flow, and then he said, yes, whatever you want, my child, whatever. But then she asked, I want children. And then he was in a dilemma. What should I do? I have given her my word. I'm a lord after all. I can't back out. Yeah, so he said, I can't give you children. He's like, yeah, because you are taking my husband. So he's like, girl, you won. So this story, it sounds so powerful, right? That her love brought him back from the mouth of death. That she loved him so much that, he's still alive. She brought him back. But where do you think there's a fault here? Where do you think that something isn't right? And I think you must have got it. Is that she was so attached to him because she was devastated that he died. She knew he would die. I mean, if you're in love, you unconditional love, everyone likes to hear that word. So if you unconditionally love someone, why wouldn't you tell them that you're going to die? That you shouldn't be with me? That I want you to be happy, I want you to be alive. I don't want to be the reason of your death. But because the love was conditional, because she was getting loved, she was like, what will I do without it? Where will I go? My father has abandoned me. If this man doesn't love me anymore, what am I going to do? That's what we are doing as well. We are so scared of someone leaving us that we do two things. First, we blackmail them into staying with us. Or second, we are so scared that we won't get into relationships. We won't open our heart to them. We would run away. Especially here, back in my home, it's very common for us to stay with our parents till we are old. But here, you turn 18 and you want to run away because we lack that, tolerance. We lack that commitment to that relationship. We don't put an effort. It's not that you have to put an effort to only romantic relationships. No. Love is everywhere. You love your mother, you love your dad, you love your guardian. You love your friend. Love is between two people, two things. And trust me, love is also there between this body and my inner being as well. So now, let's finally come to self-love. So we all, over the past few years, we have all loved to hear this word. We feel that we can do it, we need it. That this is how I want to live my life. But just thinking about it won't do anything. Are you, check. You have 24 hours in a day. How much time do you sit with yourself? Do you give to yourself? Do you, like, no one is around you when you're just with yourself? Not on your phone, not watching anything, just you with yourself. What do you do that in your 24 hours you're given? I didn't do that. But then when I saw myself, depressed, when I looked at myself in the mirror and all I could see was hate for myself, all I could see was what's wrong with me. When I couldn't get up from my bed, when all I wanted to do was just sleep in, binge eat, then I realized this is not right. Something is wrong, something is missing. I have in my life begged for people to love me. Trust me, I have been there. But their love couldn't save me. Their love couldn't get me up from my bed. Their love couldn't get me out of depression. Because it was external. Because I wasn't loving myself. I was lacking that. I didn't want to look at myself in the mirror and say that, no, you are amazing as you are. Why? Because society believes that you should be this way, you should be that way. We are conditioned to growing up. Everything is commercialized. Each and everything. Because they have to commercialize, or how else will we use their products? And we end up believing that we are not worth it. That we have to look a certain way. We have to behave a certain way. If we don't do this, if we don't do that, we won't be successful in life. People won't love us. People won't be there with us. That's not how this works. Why are we letting someone else decide who I am, what I'm capable of, how worthy I am? I know the internet, everyone says, oh, it's a big problem, but still we are there 24/7. We admit it's a problem, but we won't do anything to acknowledge it. I know the internet is a very, very scary place. People like me who are not the ideal figure, we get death threats if we upload a picture. And I know that a lot of stuff is happening. Because we are always there. We say we don't want to be there, but we are still always there. I'm not saying just, they say like, I'm going to detox for like a day and not touch my phone at all. Yeah, it's like a juice detox. A day won't do anything. I'm not saying that delete your social media forever. I haven't done it. I still have it. But the least you can do is start allotting a time to yourself, right? And I'll only touch my phone for this amount of time. Or, restrict what you are seeing. You have that option. Check, what am I seeing? Is this making me feel bad about myself? Then don't look at that. Why are you looking at that? Why do you need to? Go read a book. I know it's a very, very scary place, but trust me, there are ways. These are just some, teeny tiny things you can do physically. But if you don't set yourself here, if you don't think about what's going on here, if you don't cure what's happening here, no amount of restriction could take you out of that. It's an everyday hustle, I know, but then you have to come out of that. Visualize. See, if I start loving myself in a few days, what would that look like? And if I constantly hate myself and say bad things about myself, what will that look like? And I think you can already see, there's already an image in your head. I think the loving one would be where you are dressed in your most amazing self. You look ravishing, you look stunning, because you love yourself. When you love yourself, it can be seen outside. But when you look at that hate, you can see they are not dressed well. They are in their sweatpants. Their hair is not done. See, when you are not right here, you aren't right here as well. It can be seen in your body. It can be seen how you're behaving. So realize the importance of sitting with yourself and telling that, oh, you're so amazing. I love you. I love you. You don't need love from outside. I am here to love you. There's so many experiments done on love and hate. As you can see on your screens now, this one is an experiment done by IKEA actually. So what they did was they took two plants and they labeled one love and they labeled one hate. So through a week, what they did was they said words of affirmation about love to the love plant. You are lovely, you're amazing, I love you. Took care of that plant like a baby. And to the hate one, to the bullied plant, that plant was ignored. And I don't want to see your face. And after a week later, what do we see? That love plant has started to bloom. The buds have started to, bloom. We can see petals. But the bullied plant, even a bud isn't there. See, when you value something, when you put that value into that plant, the value of love, it bloomed and it's so beautiful now. But when you didn't value the other, that beauty has gone. Because we haven't valued ourselves. Now we are like that flower, we are like that bud, and we aren't blooming. We are still there. Why? Why don't you want to see yourself bloom? I know I would want to. Then why are you depriving yourself of that pleasure? See yourself. You can move to the next slide. So you can see the roses in front of you. Now look at yourself that way. What do you see? You see that beautiful red flower, don't you? That's you. Now visualize that you are touching it. Now as soon as your fingers touch it, what do you feel? A thorn? A thorn will always be there in a rose flower, won't it? No matter how much it's trimmed, you can always feel that thorn. Identify those thorns are the tough days you have, the hate you get from outside. But even then, no other flower can match the beauty of that rose. I mean, this is the flower which signifies love. Valentine's Day is coming. So instead of giving a flower, giving a rose, why don't we become one? Feel it. There will be days where you won't feel yourself, where you will be down, where everywhere you can feel hate, where you will look at yourself in the mirror and feel hate. But then remember that even with those thorns, I am still a rose flower. I am blooming every day. No one can stop me. Why? Because I have committed to loving myself. Committed. It's understandable why we don't want to commit in relationships, why we don't want to take an effort in relationships, because there's a risk involved. Very explanatory. But this body is going to stay with me until I die. I'm always going to be here. So I don't have any escape until I eventually go away. So if I don't have any escape, I am basically committed to myself, but I'm not consciously doing that. I'm not consciously doing that. The same thing, I'm attached to this body. I have expectations from this body. I want this body to be perfect as the world wants. Because I am not committing myself every day to tell myself that no, you are fine, I love you. I'm not putting the conscious effort to do that. Let's do an exercise. Let's take a minute. Now I'm giving you a question. Please, I hope you have a pen and paper in front of you, or open the notes app on your phone and write 5 things about yourself that you love, and then 5 things about yourself that you hate. Let's do this. Please, if you're listening, please, I request you to do this for a minute. I hope you have that in front of you now. Now look closely, very attentively. If I'm not wrong, or if you have already mastered the act of self-love, then kudos to you. But I think that the things you hate about yourself are related to your body, and the things you love about yourself are related to your inner being, your personality. And the things you hate about yourself aren't within you. They never are. They're always outside. They're external sources. You know, when you look at For instance, when you look at your big nose, you forget that how kind I am. When you look at that I'm not doing my work properly, you forget that how committed I am in spite of if I'm not doing this properly. You forget how caring I am, how loving I am whenever you look something wrong with you, which is basically outside. Why? Now, please don't say it's natural. It's not. I think we have established that by now. It's not normal. We say it's normal, but we need to identify that it's not. Loving yourself isn't just loving the parts of your body which you hate or anything. It's about accepting, introspecting, what qualities do I have already inside me? Once you recognize that, it will automatically show outside. You can automatically see the change. I know I can. When I look at myself 2 years ago, when I see a photo of myself, I can see it in the eyes, I can see it in the smile. And I know it's difficult. I'm not saying it's easy. I know. I have been there. I still fumble. I still am down. But then, because I have committed to myself, I know I have to get up. I know I cannot stay falling down. I have to pick myself up daily. It's an everyday process. It's like an antibiotic dose which is never going to end. Even one day if you miss sitting with yourself, and giving that love which you give to us so, unconditionally to others, if you give that to yourself, see the change. And no, it's not just you do it for 5 months and you have mastered the art of love. No, it's a lifelong process. It's an everyday process. You have to do it every day, especially with the world we live in, where every second there's some form of hate coming towards us, be it from within, be it from outside, be it from the internet, be it from your own family, the people you most love is sometimes where you get the most hate as well. Now, I hope that you have understood that what we were conditioned to believe in. To summarize, we were conditioned to believe that we are worthy of love, but only if someone else decides so. Only if someone else thinks, oh yeah, that person looks nice. Okay, I can love that person. So we were conditioned to believe that. We were conditioned to believe that it's normal to have expectations to others and to ourselves. It's normal to be attached to bodies. But now we have successfully unlearned that, and we are learning that we have to every day put an effort and love ourselves. Every day, every single day. Now, as we come to an end, I hope that you have taken something and try to apply this in your everyday life. Before I go, I can only suggest some things, which is, of course, when you're starting, the list I made you make, try to make that every day. Sometimes the hate list would be bigger than the love one. But then gradually, when you will start doing this every day, the hate list will vanish. And only love and love will be there. And when identify, whenever you start, saying negative things about yourself, identify at that very moment, stop, physically stop, so that you can mentally stop, and then think, what did I do? Why did I think that? Was that from inside? Was that from outside? Think, do that. Don't ignore this. This is very, very important. And lastly, sit with yourself every single day for at least 30 minutes. Not less than that. No 15, no 10, nope. That's something I won't let you do. I'll come to your house and then get you. 30 minutes every single day. Sit with yourself and introspect. You can introspect, you can journal, you can meditate, you can do whatever you want. But sit with yourself and commit that I am here with you today. I am going to love you. I am going to give you the love which I expect from outside. I am here. You only need me. I'm here. This sentence, I am here, which we so desperately want to hear from someone else. Say that to yourself because you have been wanting to hear that. Identify that the qualities that I love in others is something which always belonged to me in the first place, which I loved in myself in the first place. Give yourself that value. Put a value to yourself. Don't let others decide that for you. Become that rose. Be that rose every single day. Water your plant. Water your plant. See yourself as your own baby. Give all the love you can to yourself. And trust me, once you start doing that, not only will you change from the outside, the world around you will change. Again, I say, the world around you will change. Om Shanti.
It's all around me, a silent voice I can't deny, a mother's arms, how they surround me, they say forever. It will never fade away. Never cause me pain. This love, this love. I close my eyes. It takes last forever. It will never fade away. Never cause me pain. This love, this love, it will last forever. It will never fade away. Never cause me pain. It will last forever.